everyone, and welcome back to RubberStamps.com. This is our bonus episode, which is all about cleaning and taking care of our stamps. But before we get started, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to see more content like this. Let's get started. So the first thing that I want to go over is that it is completely normal to have some staining on your stamps. As you can see with these stamps, we have some green ink and pink ink that has stained the stamps, but this does not affect how you use them at all. This ink stain is not going to transfer to your new impressions. It's not going to show up on your paper. It's just a stain on the stamp, and it's no cause for concern and completely normal. So there are a few different ways that you can clean your stamps. As you can see, this one is a brand new stamp that we're going to use, and the first thing that we're going to go over is using Pigment Ink. So this is our Remarks Pigment Ink. We're just going to go ahead and ink up the stamp, create an impression, and then we'll get into how to clean this specific type of ink, because that's what determines how to clean your stamps. It's the type of ink that you're using. So we got a really great impression there, turned out super great. But you can see that now our stamp is covered in black ink, as well as the stamp pad. There's just ink all over the place, and if you wanted to switch colors or put your stamp away, you're going to want to clean it first. So the biggest thing for using Pigment Ink is that you use Remarks Ink Cleaner, or you could use soap and water, and this just helps break down the ink and remove it really easily from the stamp. So you can either spray this directly onto the stamp, or spray it onto the stamp cleaning pad that we have. It doesn't matter either way, both of those options will work. But you're going to spray it onto the stamp, take it over to the stamp cleaning pad. There are two different sides. One side is going to be for the cleaning, the other side is going to be for the drying. So you take it and just rub it across the bottom side. Make sure you get all of the ink off. That already looks really great, but then you can take it up to the top part and dry it off. Another option that you can do if you don't have this stamp cleaning pad is to use a microfiber cloth, but this stamp pad is really great. It works even better than microfiber cloths, and I'll show you why in just a second. But you can see how clean this stamp is now. It almost looks brand new. There's hardly any staining, so that's how to remove pigment ink from your stamps. And here's the stamp pad, and this just shows you the texture and why this gets your stamps so clean. We have all these little tiny filaments that get in all the cracks of your stamps and clean things up really nicely. It's on both sides, both the cleaning side and the drying side. Next, we're going to talk about cleaning Archival Ink. This is going to be a little bit different because Archival Ink is actually a permanent ink and it does not come off with water. It's not water-based, so you're not going to be able to remove this with just soap and water, which is why we recommend using the Archival Ink Cleaner. This is a specific formula created just for this ink because the ink is permanent. So we're going to ink up another stamp that's brand new. We've never used this one before, and we'll create an impression. And now you can see the stamp is still purple after creating that impression. So with the Archival Ink, you actually have this little dabber on the top. So what you're going to do is flip it over and dab it onto the stamp. Directly onto the stamp, making sure that you cover it completely with the liquid. And then you're going to take it and rub it across the cleaning side of the stamp cleaning pad, and then take it up to the top to dry it. So you can see that with Archival Ink, it actually does stain a lot more than the Pigment Ink because, again, it's not water-based, it's a permanent ink. So you are going to have more staining with this, but it does not affect the stamping at all. You can see that when I stamp it on a piece of paper after cleaning it, there's absolutely no residue, no ink left over. It doesn't make any marks once it's been cleaned. So after a while, your stamp cleaning pad will get a little stained on the bottom. To clean this, all you're going to do is take it to a sink and use soap and water, and then dry it off really well. So here it is after I took it to the sink and washed it off with soap and water. It's still a little bit wet, which is why it's a darker color, but you can see that the stain that was there before is almost gone. So now that we have learned how to clean our stamps, let's talk about how to store them. We recommend actually hanging on to the packaging that the stamps come in so that you can just take the stamps and re-stick them to the packaging. Then you can take the second layer of the clear acetate, stick that on the top, and then slide it back into the outer packaging. This is pretty durable and will last through multiple uses, so it's definitely a very budget-friendly way to store your stamps. You don't need to go out and buy anything additional, you can just use the packaging that it comes in. Then for a filing system, there are a ton of different ways you can do this. Here's the first option, which would just be an accordion binder. Here's another example. This is also an accordion binder, but it's a little bit bigger and is alphabetical. So you would just take that and slide it into the binder, however you have it organized. And then another really easy option is just to use an extra box that you might have lying around and label them with sticky notes. This is probably the most cost-effective way to store your stamps, but again, there are so many different options for ways to store your stamps. These are just some budget-friendly options. Thank you so much for watching. We hope that this was helpful and gave you a little bit more information on how to clean your stamps and take care of them. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We will see you next time.